What is going on, tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your boy Scribe. We are continuing our video series on the changes to the Battle for Naboo raid. Coming up this time, we're taking a look at one of the Jedi teams, and oh my god, has this one been made easy. I absolutely love these changes to the raid. Let's go take a look at the Luminara raid team. These are the raid teams that I personally run in the Battle for Naboo. We have the Queen Amidala at Relic 9, the Gungans at Relic 8, and the Sith Trio at Relic 7. Then I have a Keller and Beck Jedi team, and right at the bottom over here, we've got the Lumi team, which is the one I'm going to be going over today. The reason I bring this up to show you the different teams that I use is mostly so that you can compare the Jedi splits that I use here in particular. When it comes to the Lumi team, if you do not have enough Jedi to split them into two teams like this, and you can only do a Jedi Luminara lead, then what you'd like to do is just make sure you've got Luminara and Kit Fisto. Those two combined are the most important part of it. Then, once you've got those two, you can start using your most powerful Jedi from other areas. It's always useful to have a source of dispelling on the team, okay? So, Plo Koon's basic, or Shaak Ti's basic. You've got Mace Windu with his first special, for example, and Qui-Gon Jinn's second special. All of these can dispel. That helps you get around droidicas. It's not a massive deal, but I'm just giving you some options here before we begin. Now, I'm going to do you the courtesy of showing you an ideal mod setup right now. I'm telling you right now at the start, this is in no way necessary with these new changes. You do not need to go this hard on modding anymore. You could probably set some pretty basic mods on these guys and just let it roll because the changes have made it so easy. All I will say, from a high-level perspective, what you want to look to do is just try and get some decent levels of offense in there, and when it comes to turn order, make Kit Fisto go first as fast as possible, and then have someone like Plo Koon, if you're using him, to pass additional turn meter. Have him go second, so he can use his second special pass turn meter to the team, and you'll be absolutely fine. But I'm just showing this for an example to you on how you would mod if you wanted to do it ideally. This one is at an R5 tier, okay? So R5 minimum. Starting off with Luminara Unduli. She is the most important part of this because we need a healer Jedi leadership in order to trigger the benefits for the raid, all right? So I've modded her with a little bit of offense and a little bit of health. Let's go over here and check. She's at 294 speed, she's got 75k health, and she's got 7,616 offense. The reason I mod for offense is because when we've got potency up and heal over times, we are going to be doing true damage on an AoE basis. More offense equals more true damage, all right? So offense, offense, and offense. I'm just going all out offense, balls to the wall, as much damage as I can put out. Next up, we have got Kit Fisto. I'm having him using a speed set here and a broken set. Speed set because I want Kit nice and fast to go very first in battle. He can then use his second special, which is, his first special, sorry, Turn the Tide. That is going to pass us all potency up, which we need in order to trigger the bonus modifier for this raid. So taking a look at the stats then, he's got 315 speed and he's got 7,337 offense at Relic 5. That is enough for him at the R5 tier of the raid to go first, and then he's got some decent levels of offense to do some damage as well. Moving on to Qui-Gon Jinn, we've got an offense set and a health set. Again, we're explaining offense because we want to deal more damage in general, okay? More damage in general is more gooder. That's what they say. He has 280 speed, and he's got about 7,500 offense. That's the key touch points there. Plo Koon, like I said, you want him going second, so 295 speed. The reason you want him going second is so that you can use Take Charge. Now, if you're not using Plo Koon, this doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I just like this because it passes the whole team 50% turn meter, which means in wave 1, you can get your whole team to go first before the enemy moves, and that helps you clear wave 1 before anything really happens. So he's running a speed set and a health set over here, 295 speed and just under 7k offense at Relic 8. I have him at Relic 8 because he's a requirement for GL Ahsoka Tano. Finally, we've got Ayla Secura. She's over here because I needed an extra Jedi for my Jedi split. Why not use Ayla? When she attacks and crits, she has a chance to call attacks out of turn as well. She doesn't actually need to crit for that. She just has a chance to call to assist. She can stun, but stunning really doesn't do a whole lot for this raid. So again, offense and health sets, 280 speed basically, and 8.2k offense at Relic 7. That is our team. Those modding is just like completely overboard, guys. You really don't need to do that. Let's go and check out the footage, shall we? Now, I have two runs to show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Two runs, one of which is going to be on full auto with that modding setup, and we are going to be targeting priority units. That's the only problem with the AI currently, is when it plays on fully auto, it will not target the high priority units, which are the droidicas and the staps. So in this run, I'm just going full auto. You can see all that true damage kicking out here. I'm going full auto, and I'm just going to target the droidicas and the staps as they come available, and you'll see just how easy this run actually is at this tier. So got through that first wave very, very quickly, only 7% in rage. Target down that droidica when you can, just to make sure that we get rid of him. All of this is counterattacks right now. Second wave goes down 9% on the enrage meter there. Obviously, when you go through a wave, you gain an extra 3%, so it's now at 12. Doesn't matter. You don't have to pick what the fleet ability is going to be. It can pick itself. And as you can see, we are just blowing through these waves so quickly because of all that true damage that we're doing, because of the fact that the enemy cannot dispel those buffs in time. Once again, targeting down the droidicas because those are the priority units. You don't have to do this. It just helps make the run nice and smooth. So you can sort of half AFK your run with Luminara. And it's such a wonderful feeling to not have to worry about doing anything on a manual basis for this raid anymore. I absolutely love these changes. Once again, we've got into the second fleet wave, and we're just going to focus down the staps here, try to make sure we get rid of them first and foremost, and after that, look how quickly these waves are going down. It is one of the quickest runs that you can do. Targeting down the droidicas now in a new wave, and boom, boom, boom. We've got no calls to assist at the minute, unfortunately. One of the droidicas does manage to cleanse, but it's actually not a problem at all. Not cleanse, sorry. He manages to roll up. I mean, the roll up does have a cleanse, but I mean damage immunity. So we just have to wait now. I'm deliberately not taking it off full auto. I just, well, let's say full auto, targeted auto, because I want to see how the AI will play it. And then we're nearly at the end now. This is the last fleet wave. After this, we're going to go into the very last wave of the battle. So it goes ahead and uses the very last one, which is going to give us that locked potency up and heal over time, which basically means we're always going to be doing true damage. So it's absolutely phenomenal. These waves will not last very long. A little bit of RNG based on how many counters you get. But as you can see, going into that final wave, take a look at that enrage meter. 45% enrage meter. Basically full auto, just targeting those priority units. And it's done. How much time was that? That was 2.5 minutes for a run. I love these changes. Obviously, that's going to be with decent modding and stuff and some pretty good RNG, but it is that easy. Now, I did a test after this. I wanted to see, I didn't lock in the score. I just wanted to see, hang on, that was with targeted auto. Does it still work if I just let it be? No interaction from myself, just full auto. Jesus, take the wheel. And it does okay. It's not as well, and I imagine it's far more prone to a bit of RNG. The real issue is the droidicas, because if the droidicas do get bonus turns and they roll up, they can actually be a real pain, and they can one-shot your units, even with good modding like this. So I'm not targeting the droidica. This is the annoying part, is the AI will quite literally ignore droidicas and staps until they are the very last units, so they're always going to be hanging around like this. Now, fortunately, you do have Plo Koon in this instance that can dispel on a basic, or if you've got Shakti, you can use her as well. But those units do also have special abilities, and, you know, it might just delay that turn long enough so that you get stuck behind a droidica for a little bit too long. And of course, you might not get lots of counterattacks, and that might slow you down. You might eventually hit enrage, etc., etc. But I'm just trying to see how reliable it is going in on full auto. You see, we've got through the first 3 waves, no real issues here. This is where it starts to get a little bit hairy because we've got 2 droidicas, and you're wondering just how reliable is it going to be. A little bit beholden to those counterattacks. So 4th wave goes down very, very quickly. 5th wave, we're using our 2nd fleet ability over here, and this is always going to be disrupt communications. So we're going to get rid of the modifier on the commando droid, and then we're just going to go to town. Again, you can see, completely ignoring the stats. Deliberately, it just targets one unit after the other. Not a whole lot you can do about this. Like I said, it's easier just to manually target, and it gets rid of all of that negative side of this run. You can see right now we've got the provoke, for example, which means we are going to be counterattacking the enemy, taking damage to our health. But more importantly, it's going to reduce the amount of damage we do when we attack out of turn. This is a scary wave as well. They've got the charge modifier, double droidica, lots of B1s. How's this one going to play out, you think? It's not particularly nice, all right? So again, we're relying on those counterattacks. We're relying on the attacks out of turn to really come through for us. Does work out pretty well, but at droidica, right at the end, it's like, are we going to be able to chew through this droidica? Or is it going to constantly just get bonus turns and roll up, and bonus turns and roll up, and bonus turns and roll up? And will we be able to keep hold of our potency up? That's the real thing there. So eventually we did run through, but you can see how it makes it just that little bit more difficult when you're not doing that manual targeting. Especially if it's a charge modifier on the enemy commando droid and there are droidicas, that's when it is a real pain, because they can just get into a loop of constantly being in damage immunity, and then the commando droid with lower cooldowns will be dispelling your potency up quite frequently, and that makes it very frustrating. So this is coming through to the final wave here. The great thing about it is you're in no danger of hitting in rage. We're at 62% in rage now. We are so far away. But check this out. He rolls up, and I believe they get a one-shot off. Oh, well, not a one-shot. Nearly one-shots the Kit Fisto. The second attack also goes to Kit Fisto and removes him. So now we have no source of potency up, which basically means no true damage, no damage on the team anymore. So now I was like, oh, it went so well until right at the end. Is it now going to be an issue? And it nearly was. It nearly was. I can see that being an issue if you haven't modded particularly well. But it's nice to see that these options are becoming available to us now in the game. We've actually got more reliable runs, less RNG, and even having some teams now that we can just put on full auto and just have a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to about do it for this video guide on the Lumi team, the easiest team to run right now in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below if you did like it, if you're going to use it, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.